Every hour of the day, we process a constant feed of breaking news alerts, viral outrage, and compounding global anxiety. Our minds are forced to carry the exhausting weight of a permanently connected planet. But what happens to the human brain if we permanently sever that cord? What if we strip away the network and restrict our connections strictly to our immediate, physical surroundings? The Earth spins at the exact same speed, but the pulse of humanity slows down. If a major event happens across the ocean, the shockwave takes days to arrive. Panic and joy do not trend globally. They remain isolated in the neighborhoods where they occur. This geographic delay creates a massive psychological buffer. You are insulated from the overwhelming burden of distant catastrophes, leaving your mind free to engage entirely with the reality you can see and touch. Information has a strict boundary. For a daily update to reach a community, thousands of heavy pages have to be printed, loaded onto trucks, and physically hauled to a local corner pavement. And because that daily information is finite and right there in your hands, you don't casually skim it. You sink completely into the pages while riding the morning train. The chaos of a distant hemisphere cannot compete with the physical reality in your hands. The pulse of the world stops where the delivery route ends. Zooming down from the wide lens of the city into the individual neighborhood, this geographic friction dictates exactly how we learn. Information is never weightless. Data cannot exist as invisible code floating in the cloud. It remains heavy, locked permanently inside gallons of ink, miles of microfilm, and millions of pages. To store all that mass, communities build massive architectural fortresses. To master a new skill, you travel to these buildings and patiently hunt for the answer, walking down rows, pulling index cards, and scanning pages by hand. There is no empty search bar waiting to instantly deliver the truth. Knowledge is a journey that requires time and grit. In this world, expertise is a status earned through years of navigating these stacks, a physical journey that most people cannot replicate with a few seconds of curiosity. When facts require this much labor to uncover, they lose their status as cheap, disposable data. Knowledge becomes a hard-won destination, and those who reach it command a room simply by being in it. The weight of the physical world also commands the cultural hubs of the city. Instead of lying on a couch, paralyzed by an infinite scroll of digital thumbnails, finding entertainment requires leaving your house and committing to a physical object. To find new music, you step into a dense, tactile environment, digging through rows of cardboard sleeves to examine liner notes and the artwork. You can only take home exactly what you can carry in your hands. Because the selection is limited, the choice is highly deliberate. Standing in the video rental aisle holding a thick plastic case, you are deciding to give 2 hours of your evening to one specific story. Once you bring it home, the behavior changes. An album plays straight through from track 1 to the end. A rented movie commands the entire room. It isn't left running as background noise while you look at another screen. The sheer scarcity of physical media forces you to consume it deeply, turning everyday entertainment into a premium experience. Finally, we narrow our focus down to the tightest geography of attention, the quiet space inside a single room. Without glowing screens in our pockets offering an instant escape route, boredom is a frequent, heavy presence. You are forced to sit in the stillness, but that exact stillness is the catalyst that forces a human being to look around, let their mind wander, and eventually engage in a deep, uninterrupted conversation with the person sitting next to them. Trying to reach anyone outside of those 4 walls requires immense intentionality. You cannot fire off an instant text message to a friend across the ocean. Every long-distance conversation relies on an army of workers manually sorting, loading, and carrying paper over thousands of miles. When an envelope finally arrives, you feel the emotional weight of the delay. You recognize the cost of the stamp, the days in transit, and the deliberate movement of the sender's pen on the page. Without the whole world at our fingertips, we finally had the time to appreciate the world right in front of us.